So, welcome to notice for the Saturday evening get together. We are going to today study in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which we are continuously discussing from last few months. And today is the 26th verse of the 6th chapter, where Lord Krishna is speaking about the science of Ashtanga Yoga process. Yoga means to connect. Yoga means to connect ourselves with the Supreme Soul, Krishna, and the art of connecting. The process of connecting is Lord Krishna describing here in the various chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So we discussed about the science of karma, where through work, how we can actually day-to-day connect with the Supreme Personality of Krishna. Then Lord Krishna is speaking in the 6th chapter, how by the process of dhyana, one would be able to connect. But it is not that Lord Krishna is providing the science of yoga and they are independent of each other. They are interlinked with each other. Unless and until one actually does the karma, means one does day-to-day activities by which he is able to connect the fruits of activities with Krishna, he will not be able to promote himself to the level of dhyana. Because if he is not able to manage the gross objects itself in service of Krishna, how will he be able to manage the subtle senses, the subtle energies in the service of Krishna? What is the easiest process? What is the easiest work in this world? To manage gross or manage subtle? Gross. Basically, anything gross in this world. You have materials, you have objects which you are seeing. Managing that, it is pretty much easy. Cutting, chopping vegetables and cooking is all a gross kind of a handling. Yeah, but it becomes little more challenging when you start saying to cook you need to be clean. It becomes a little bit challenging, right? You need to now you need to take bath, wear fresh clothes and then cook. It is little. There is a restriction here. There is a subtle element of management gets involved. Now the next level is when you are told that while cooking your sense organ needs to be properly placed, not like just doing like this. I had one cook who came I think 2 months back to do some sweets. He's from a proper Madhva Brahmin, been cooking for a long time for marriages and everything. His bad habit was, he was just touching something and putting the finger in. He's been cooking for marriages and all, temples and everywhere. And Vishwajit Prabhu is laughing because I kept Vishwajit to manage him so that if he puts his finger into the mouth, the next thing he needs to do is go to this one, open the tap, wash. And he was little annoyed. I told him, why do we cook? To offer to Krishna? Then he said, I asked, shouldn't we cook in a very pure state of our consciousness and keep everything clean? Because how will Krishna accept? So he was initially taking it back. He's been cooking for 40 years. But slowly he could understand, So it becomes little bit more challenging if you are told you need to actually keep your hands and everything clean and while cooking, because whatever you cook, that gets offered to Krishna. For example, we had our India's largest temple at the moment that was opened in Pune. Yeah, NVCC, New Vrindavana Cultural Center. For that, the President of India came. That time Pranab Mukherjee. So when he came, the Pranab Mukherjee wanted to have all the offerings done to Krishna. So for Pranab Mukherjee to have food that is offered to Krishna, there were a team of experts who came from the food department, Maharashtrian food department, to taste the food before giving it to Pranab Mukherjee. And I was one of the cooking team who was cooking, and there was a big team who came, and they had a nice lunch, because they took everything in the plate and ensured that they are alive. First thing is, because of security, anyone can enter and do anything in this world. So first they need to ensure that they are alive after eating. Second thing is, ensure that everything is in a standard which a president of India can have. For a president of India to have, there is a team of experts coming and tasting. And if you are cooking for Krishna and offering, he is the king of all the kings. Yeah? He is the proprietor of all the, not only the earth planets, all the millions of planets in this world. For him to offer, what should be our, etiquettes? For Krishna to have, we need to have an etiquette to cooking. Now, management of the senses, it becomes little more challenging to cook. Yeah. Now comes the third. Ahara Shuddho, Sattva Shuddhi, Sattva Shuddho, Dhruva Sputi Lambe, Sarvadhrati Nam, Vipramoksha. When you are cooking, you need to have a right consciousness. That is much more difficult. Yeah? You need to have right consciousness, because nowadays, when everyone are cooking, marriages also, they put all the horrible songs, all the Bollywood songs, and they will be putting it in the ears. It's not that I would be thinking that they will be hearing all the bhajans and all. Bhajans today are gone. They will be hearing some other bhajans. To take away from those kinds of consciousness, because whatever we cook, ahara shuddha, sattva shuddhi. For us to get purified, when we are cooking, we need to have proper consciousness. For example, when a mother cooks for the children, if the mother is not cooking with a state of loving consciousness, the same consciousness goes to the children through the medium of food. This is the normal thing. It's been an ancient technology. That's why even the grandmothers and all in the earlier days, when they used to get vegetables from the market, they used to wash and then dry it with the cloth and handle the vegetables very carefully. For example, Shabari, to offer it to Lord Ram, how nicely she took care of the fruits. So it's all in our state of consciousness. Now, to manage cooking, you need to have a right consciousness. Then it becomes much more subtler. Just to cook is okay. Cutting vegetables, actually, I had come back from Australia in 2000 and I had cooked in the morning breakfast for my parents. And my father's friend also came to have breakfast. And my father's friend asked, what is necessary to make cooking food very tasty? My father was sitting, he said, you're cooking ingu tengidre yalla chanagirutte. Kannada. How many of you know Kannada? How many of you don't know Kannada? What is cooking? Put coconut and support it a hing. Everything will be perfect. Then which my father didn't like, he asked, Radha, what do you think? So I said, to cooking to be tasty, there needs to be love. Wow, wonderful answer. My father didn't like it actually, because he was not liking me chanting Krishna's name and what you are doing, he used to inquire every time. And when I answered this, and so basic ingredient for cooking is you need to have love, because you are transmitting, you are expressing love with others through the medium of cooking. For example, tomorrow my relative's house is there, they are doing some puja. I am cooking and taking them sweets. Why I am taking them? Because I love them. So to love them, there needs to be basic reciprocation. That you cook with love, not with angry mode. I don't know why I took it. Someone asked me to cook. I really don't want to cook this. You get what I mean? These hotels and all this, cook chef will have this kind of attitude. I don't know why I'm cooking. And once I went and there was one in the Govinda's hotel itself. I went and asked the chef, how are you making this? He got, my goodness, he was in a way of throwing that, this one, what do you call this? Directly onto me. And he was saying, why you are coming and are disturbing me? Already I am, tired of doing this again and again. People have frustration to take it out. So basically, to manage the cross, it is easy. To manage a subtle, it is much more difficult in this world. To manage a subtler and subtler. If I tell, for example, Shreya, you need to ensure that your hands, legs and everything is steady and you should not open your mouth. Something she can manage. Now if you tell Shreya, you should not think anything beyond Vrindavana. She will go crazy. How can I, her friends will come tomorrow, I am going for cycling and I am doing this, everything will come only when she is sitting in Vrindavana. Yeah? So cross is easier to manage, subtler energies is very difficult to manage. So, dhyana is the process of managing our subtler elements. So, here in this verse, yato nischalati astiram tatastato niyamyetat atmani eva vasham niyet. So, Krishna is telling Arjuna the process of Ashtanga Yoga, and Krishna told Arjuna, if one is taking up the Jnana Yoga, because ultimately all the yoga process is to manage our energies in such a way that we will be able to offer everything in the service of Krishna. Managing grosser elements is easy. So managing subtler elements is extremely difficult. That's why manaha means that which is not mine. Yeah? So to manage manaha, Savai mana Krishna padana vindayo. We need to actually connect our mind in the service of Krishna. So Krishna, he is telling one needs to go to the forest, sit in a particular posture, then he needs to focus on the Paramatma who is sitting inside the heart, and he tells all the rules and regulations for doing the Ashtanga Yoga process. Now Krishna is telling yato nischalati. Because as soon as you start thinking, I will close my eyes and focus on some things, immediately you start getting all the unwanted thing in your mind. For example, if you are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare, it's okay if your some work thing comes okay. But if all horrible things keep coming, it starts agitating. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare. Again you try to think. So Krishna here is telling, yato nischalati. As soon as you sit for performing Ashtanga Yoga process, manas chanchalam astiram. Astiram, chanchalam means flickering. Astiram means unsteady, wavering. To focus is extremely difficult. Then Krishna says, oh, okay, it's chalta hai yaar. In today's yoga teachers, right? What do you like to meditate upon? I like to meditate upon Chiva's whiskey. Oh, wonderful! Bring the bottle of Chiva Chivas whiskey along with you when you are coming for the yoga. Keep the Chivas whiskey in front of you and keep focusing that. Wow, wonderful teacher. What an easy process you have told. Everyone becomes, wow, yoga is, very, very easy process. That's why today beer yoga is also can. But Krishna is not telling that. Krishna is telling, okay, fine, think about anything which is disturbing you, okay, go in that itself to the wind. So Krishna is not telling that, okay, wherever your mind drags you, just keep on traveling. That is not yoga process. That is not dhyana yoga. Yeah, so Krishna is telling, whenever your mind is flickering, unsteady, one must certainly, he is not telling leave it. Let it go from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, let it travel around and see all kinds of releases of Bollywood movies which is coming, which theater. There is a, when you are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, there is a process that is being given. Okay, concentrate on yourself, on the feet of Krishna and slowly start thinking about the face of Krishna. And if you like, you can actually go to the holy tirthas, take bath while you are chanting. Subtle going and taking bath. Go to Vrindavan, take bath in the Yamuna river. Go to various holy places, take bath. Now Krishna is not telling, okay, go to the this movie theater, take bath in the holy consciousness of this. What is the new movie? I don't know. Whatever. He's not telling you go to start thinking about that item song which has come in that movie and focus on that and keep doing jnana yoga. Krishna is not at all telling. What he is telling? Chanchalam astiram, when it becomes flickering and unsteady, tata niyameta atmani eva vasham nayet. One must withdraw it. Yeah? Yahi samsparshacha bhoga dukkha yonava yeyate. Adi antavantah kunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Yahi samsparshacha bhoga. Whatever the gross things you try to enjoy in this world, that has a beginning and an end. For example, a husband buys a jewelry for a wife. That has a beginning and an end. Yahi samsparshacha bhoga. Why samsparshacha? You can sparsha, you can touch it and you can feel it. If you want to enjoy that, it has a beginning and an end. So Krishna says, Yahi samsparshacha bhoga. Whatever things in this world which you can touch and feel and enjoy. For example, gulab jamuns. Gulab jamuns you can touch and feel. You can eat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once it becomes 15 to 16 gulab jamun, absolutely no satisfaction. You will not even know whether you are eating gulab jamun. It becomes very, very monotonous. That is the nature of gross items. Yeah. So anything which has a gross, which gives you happiness, Krishna says it has a beginning and an end. So nateshu ramate buddha. Krishna says an intelligent person doesn't take pleasure in those. So this is the instruction of Krishna. So when you are coming to Vrindavan and you are passing by, it happens normally. You are passing by something which you are attracted to. Yeah? Immediately it pulls. Yeah? Sometimes you would have done that kind of activities. You are coming to the temple Vrindavan and crossing by, you see a beautiful restaurant and a bar, which I don't think anyone would have gone, but I'm just taking an example. Because I come from a family tradition of Indra Deva's residence. So it pulls. Oh, let me go. Wonderful. I used to have such a good time in that bar restaurant. You forget. Sometimes the pulling is so strong, you just forget about Vrindavan. In next minute, you are in that bar and restaurant. So that's why Krishna says, so whenever you are getting that pull, immediately this is the verse you need to meditate upon. Yahi samsparshacha bhoga dukkha yonaya yeyate. Adi antavantaha kunteya nateshu ramate buddha. This, it has a beginning and an end. Because alcohol, taking alcohol, how much you can keep it flying? Once you come down, then the misery starts. As soon everything will be going flying in the air. But once you come down, everything goes down. Next day, all kind of, and to keep that again flying high, they need to have only a few minutes break. Again start. So once you get a taste of this, that's why people get hooked on to alcohol, drugs. Why? Because drugs temporarily keeps you high. But when you come down, you don't like that state. You want to be high again. That's why you keep on taking it again and again and again and again. It becomes a habit. Krishna says, Krishna is not saying that. You keep on going, flying. He says, control. Don't even try to enjoy those. Bring your mind back and bring it back under the control of the self. Atmaindriya Priti is Kama. Yeah? Krishnendriya Priti is Prema. So, if you have love for Krishna, for example, some people leave bad habits. Leave bad habits because of first, January, 2022 is coming. People make a resolution. Those resolutions just doesn't last long. But if you make a resolution because of a love for someone, then it has a longer period of sustenance. How many of you have experienced? You love someone, you give up that bad habit, then the longer period of sustenance is there in those kind of commitments, resolution you make. A dry resolution, you just give it up. So Krishna is saying, bring it back under the control of the self, because when we have the attachment for the needs of the soul, needs of the body is different, needs of the soul is different. Once we realize the needs of the soul, that which is Krishna, when we are attracted to Krishna, we will be able to give it up easily. Prashanta manasam hiyenam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shantarajasham brahma bhutam akalpasham. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains highest perfection of transcendental happiness. See, Krishna is connecting from the previous verse. In order to give up the unsteady, the flickering, where you are not getting attention for thinking about me, Krishna says, withdraw whenever you are getting distracted. Withdraw that under the control of the self. Now he is saying, what is the control of the self? The yogi whose mind is fixed upon me. He is not saying fixed upon something, all, material things or rubbish things. He doesn't give a solution, okay, let the mind go anywhere. No. He is saying yogi whose mind is fixed on me. Yeah? Verily attains highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme, and thus he is free from all reactions to the past deeds. So Krishna is telling how to control ourselves whenever we are getting distracted. So I will tell one story. There was one very, very dear student of Srila Prabhupada. He was making a deity of Jagannath for the Rath Yatra festival. And he was a carpenter by profession. And he was making a beautiful deities. The Jagannath Balde Subhadra. How many of you have seen Jagannath Balde Subhadra? It is Jagannath Puri. Yeah? So he was making the deity carving, because for the Rath Yatra he was carving out of the wood. So he was making the deities, and Prabhupada came personally to see how the deities are. So while carving out the deities, Prabhupada was really attracted how nicely he was carving. And he sat. While observing the Jagannath deity has a little bit up like this with a flat. That's The student who was trying to actually focus in Krishna consciousness, he had smoken, and that last end of that cigarette he had kept on the back hood of the Jagannath. And Prabhupada's eyes went there. And he saw, what do you call that? Huh? Cigarette butt, right? That cigarette butt was on the top of the Jagannath head. Prabhupada said, what is this? And I don't want to name the student. And the student became very, very scared because now what Prabhupada is going to tell. Because Prabhupada didn't know that I have not stopped smoking. And he suddenly apologized to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, really I am sorry. This I smoked in the morning. Prabhupada smiled and he said, why did you want to bring cigarette in between you and Krishna? This is the only one line Prabhupada said. Why do you want to bring cigarette in between you and Krishna? And he said, till he tells today as well, that was a striking line which Prabhupada told me that made me to give up. And I cried myself. I'm doing so much service here, carving Jagannath it is. Whole day I'm spending for the Rath Yatra festival, arranging everything, and almost all the time I'm trying to become Krishna conscious. Why should I just give up something for this small cigarette that just a weakness? He just threw it out, entire pack of cigarette. He didn't pick it back. So if you have love for someone, easily you will try to give it up. Shri Krishna Namadi na bhave grahyam indriya sevan mukhe jitvado swayam eva spurati adaha. Once one gets love, experiences love for Krishna, Vishaya Vinivartante, Niraharasti Dehina, Rasavarjam Rasopyasya, Param Drishtva Nivartate. One is the easiest process of giving up bad habits is taking up positive. What is the most positive thing in this world? Is love for Krishna. When we have love for Krishna, automatically all the lower habits which actually troubles us goes away. I had a friend of mine who I met in Australia. He had come from Barbados. You know Barbados. He's a Iyer Brahmin. And we became classmates, housemates. One day, this was Iyer, and he had become a devotee. He was chanting Hare Krishna mantra, 1 or 2 rounds, and he had given up. He was looking like Iyer now, everything is so fine. And one day he showed me the photos. Seeing those photos, I was taken back. All those photos were of his previous janma, what he was doing in Barbados. In all the pools of ecstasy, in all the different swimming pools of Barbados, holding all the divine kanyas on the left sides, all the and I never saw his ecstasy in this mood, because I had seen his ecstasy chanting Krishna's name. He used to jump up, and that ecstasy I had seen. This ecstasy of seeing him, in his own world, I had not. But that person had given up everything, and he was my housemate. Yeah. So here Krishna is saying the yogi whose mind is fixed on me really attains highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the modes of passion. Passion means what? Rajas. Yeah. All the activities which you think that is wonderful can be done in passion and ignorance also. For example, if someone becomes madly intoxicated with some girl, out of his, his broad-minded, charitable, he gives out 10 crore rupees for buying a vehicle. What a charitable person, wonderful. How charity, 10 crore rupees, buy a car. This for you. You like this? A diamond? Okay, I'm giving you diamond necklace. This is for you. What a charitable person he is. Out of love, he is giving out crores and crores of rupees. But is it called charity? This is called charity in the mode of ignorance and passion and ignorance. Because of enjoyment you are trying to derive, you are trying to give something to others. You are not caring the crores of rupees. What you are caring is happiness with her. You get what I mean? This is in the charity in the mode of passion and ignorance. For example, if you see some poor people who are struggling, who don't have anything, if you feel that I should actually do something, I should cook, I should ensure that none of these poor people in my suburb are kept hungry. And if you supply and spend 10 crores of rupees, what is that called? Charity in the mode of goodness. This requires a pulling. Now, the charity in the mode of ignorance and all is just a pulling of the sensual pulling. For example, the Bollywood actor, because of marriage, two people got married in Jaipur or somewhere. All the Bollywood actors, because of their, wonderful charitable nature, they gave crores and crores of rupees of jewelry items as a gift. Is that called charitable? No. They have, this is called charity in the mode of ignorance. So charity in the mode of goodness is when you become, melted seeing someone else suffering. And charity in the mode of pure goodness is when you see that I need to distribute the same food to all the poor people by offering to Krishna and giving it as a prasad to everyone, so that they all get Krishna, love for Krishna. That is the charity in the mode of pure goodness. Yeah? So, here, thus he is free from all the reactions of the past deeds. Why Krishna says? Because if he is in passion ignorance, he will never ever be able to free from reactions of his deeds. Even though his deed might be charitable, highly glorifiable, wonderful, this village, I am going to give a charity of 100 barrels of liquor to this village. Buddhi, wonderful Buddhi, you are so much charitable. You Manushyana Buddhi, this kind of, is it called charity? This is charity in the mode of high ignorance. So, that's why Krishna says, you come beyond the mode of passion. You will never do any activities in the mode of passion and ignorance. By that, what happens? Thus, you are free from all the reactions of the past deeds. Yeah? So, I'll go to the next verse. Yunjanevam sadatmanam yogi vikata kalmasha sukena brahma samsparsham adyantam sukhamashrute. Again, Krishna is saying what is actually happiness in jnana. Yeah? Thus, the self-controlled yogi constantly engaged in the yoga practice. What is that yoga practice? Performing all the activities for the pleasure of Krishna and meditating on the names of Krishna and loving each and every living entity in this world as Vasudeva Kutumbam. That self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in the yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination and achieves highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. What is the highest stage of transcendental happiness? What is the highest stage of happiness? Krishna tells now in the next verse. Sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani chatani ikshate yoga yukta sarvatra samadarshana. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. I repeat, the true yogi, who is the true yogi? Observes me, means sees presence of me in all beings also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. The next verse is also continuation of that. Yoma pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. Krishna is telling now who is actually a person who is situated in the highest transcendental happiness. Who is called the devotee? Yeah? Who is called the perfect yogi? Krishna is telling now, Yoma pashyati sarvatra. Pashyati means what? Sees. Sarvatra? Everywhere. Yoma. One who sees me everywhere. Sarvam cha mai pashyati. Yeah, he sees everything in me. Tasyaham na pranashyami. For him, I am never lost. Sachamena pranashyati. He is never lost to me. For example, who are just now getting married? Who are getting married just now? Having seen the girl and they are getting married now? Anyone? Avinash bro, tell me, it's okay bro. So, someone who is madly in love, what is their state of mind? What is their state of mind? Huh? They will be always thinking about that same girl whom they are madly in love. Everywhere they see the same thing. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Krishna is saying, Yomam, one who sees me everywhere. Yeah? Sarvam cha mai pashyati. Even if you see a small thing, you see, that thing is within me. Tasyaham na pranashyami. For that person, that girl is never lost to him. Yeah? Sachamena pranashyati. For the girl, the boy is never lost. Both are made for each other. Tight. A fevicol ka jod hai. Yeah? So Krishna is telling the same science. There is no difference between loving Krishna and loving other people. The same degree of affection what we have, if we can able to put that same affection to Krishna, that becomes love. Because today's world, our affection to someone is only on the basis of bodily identification. Yoma pashyati sarvatra. Now you are thinking about your girl. What do you see about your girl or a boy? You see the, what do you call? The biceps and a, strong body. Yoma pashyati sarvatra. Girl sees the boy and a beautiful structural face of the boy. Yoma pashyati sarvatra. That is what he can see. Does the girl start saying, oh, what a beautiful soul he is? Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Does it happen? Yeah? He sees only the physical appearance, or she sees the physical appearance of the boy, or the boy sees the physical appearance of the girl. Does any subtler thing happens beyond? Anything happens beyond subtler? Yeah? Krishna is telling here how to see Krishna. Naham prakasham sarvasya yogamaya samavritah. Krishna says, I am not at all available to anyone. I am covered by yogamaya. To see Krishna through our gross senses it is impossible. Naham prakasham sarvasya. I am not at all available to the people through their gross senses to see me. Because yogamaya samavritah. I am closed by that screen of illusion. Yeah? So Krishna, how to see Krishna? How to see Krishna? Krishna says in the 10th chapter, Rasoham Apsukonteya, Prabhasmi Shashi Suryayo, Pranava Sarvavedeshu, Shabdakim, Paurusham Prushu. Krishna says, while drinking water, I am the tasting water. Raso Aham Apsukonteya. Rasa means what? Taste. Aham, Raso, Ahamapsu Kaunteya, I am the taste in water. Prabhasmi Shashi Suryayo, I am the light in sun and the moon. Pranava Sarvavedeshu, of all the Vedic knowledge, I am Omkara. Shabda Kim, sound in ether. How can you see the presence of ether? When the sound travels, right? So Shabda Kim, I am the sound in ether. Shabda Kim, Paurusham Rishu, ability in man is, I am the ability in man. Krishna says. These are the subtler. No, ability is subtler or Paurusha, Rusha, man is subtler. Ability is the subtler. Light is subtler or Surya and Chandra are subtler. Light is subtler. Now, taste is subtler or water is subtler? Taste is subtler. Water is gross. Now, Krishna is saying, Yoma Pashyati Sarvatra. Yoma Pashyati, someone who sees presence of me everywhere. Now, everywhere you see is gross material only. Anything you see subtler? Anything you see subtler? You see creation, right? Creation is gross. For example, you see handsome Venkatesh. Creation is gross, right? Creation is gross, right? Subtler is creator. One who creates. No one actually able to see him. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam Vidipatha Sanatana. Creation implies creator. Design. Anything marvelous designs in this world. Does it come appear just like that? For example, you go to Dubai, the tallest tower in Dubai. What is that? Huh? Burj. Yeah. Beautiful design. Did it come accidental? Yeah? There is a designer there. So Burj Khalifa you see, but do you see the designer when you see the Burj Khalifa? Designer has become subtler now. You get what I mean? Design means designer. You are seeing a Burj Khalifa, but you don't know who is the designer. You never think about the designer. You only think about the Burj Khalifa. You get what I mean? Wow, wonderful design. Does anyone think about, wow, what a person he is? I am remembering that person. Wow, he is coming in front of my eyes. Thank you so much. You have beautifully designed this. How many? Give me the ticket to the 18th floor. I have booked a room there. I want to go and enjoy watching all the beaches. This is what everyone's Burj Khalifa means, right, in Dubai. Yeah? So, design implies designer. Design we are seeing, designer we are not seeing. Yeah? Creation implies creator. Creation we are seeing, creator we are not seeing. Because creation is subtle, it's a cross. Creator is subtle. Designer is subtler. Design is gross. Intelligence is subtler. Intelligent is much more subtler. Through the intelligence of something has been created. This mobile is created because of an intelligent brain. You are seeing the intelligence. Do you see the intelligent person behind it? He has disappeared. So intelligent now has become subtler. Intelligence is grossly available to you in front of you. So one who is able to see the subtler, then he is able to Yoma Pashyati Sarvatra. Because Krishna is the creator of everything. So when you are drinking water, taste in water, Krishna. When you see the sun, brightness in skin, Krishna. When you hear Vedas, Omkara, Krishna. Yeah? When you are having such an ability to do anything, I am seeing my ability and I recognize Krishna. If that can happen, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra, Sarvam Chamai Pashyati. We are seeing all the gross things everywhere. We will be able to see subtler force behind it, which is Krishna. There are so many wonderful, intelligent arrangement that has been happening. The flower you see, fragrance is subtler. Krishna says some of the fragrance in the flower. Anything intelligent arrangement in today's world, how much intelligence is there to have one company or to have one house, to have to manage 2, 3, 4 human beings there to ensure that everything happens day to day out. It is a Herculean task. Just imagining millions of planets are floating in the sky. Just float one little things of your creation. No, I have made Gobi Manchurian. Can you float Gobi Manchurian and then? Krishna keeping all the planets in the sky and all are floating. And that too, Gobi Manchurian is only, 5 grams on Gobi Manchurian. You can somehow keep it flying for some time. Vrindavana had done one thing, one magic. She was flying something and no one could able to recognize. And one devotee said, see, there is a thread here. So, see, there is a hair, that is why he is standing. So, But Krishna, billions and billions and billions of tons of planets are floating in the sky. How is it possible? And that is not one planet. It is millions of planets are floating in the sky. And none of them are coming to each other to hit each other. And there is a planet explosions is taking place. No, they are all happily situated in certain particular orbit and they are revolving. So when we see all the gross elements, when we can recognize the presence of Krishna, then we will be trained to see for one who sees me everywhere. Currently, our capacity is only to recognize gross. Even if you are attached to a girl, we are only able to recognize her gross, not subtle. When we are able to see, oh yeah, this comb, it belongs to my girlfriend or a wife. You are seeing, what you are seeing? You are seeing a grass. You are not seeing subtler. To work around the subtler thing is very, very difficult. For example, what's your name? That boy?
Vishak.
Huh? Vishak. Yeah. So you one day after going to the school, you come back home. Mama has made wonderful samosa for you. It is hot. Hot samosa is in the table. And you come and you eat the samosas, you go and wash your hands and come and eat, and immediately you start thinking about my friend is calling. Let me go and play cricket or badminton. That's what happens, right? You eat samosas and oh, okay mama, I'm going, my friend is calling, I need to go and play cricket. That's all, right? For example, if a child comes and sees the samosa, hot samosas in the table, and when he starts eating, he starts thinking about, for making this samosa, how much effort my mother has taken. Now Vishak starts thinking, Mama, how much effort she would have put to make this samosa. This is the first question. How many children out of 1,000 think in this way? This is the first question I am saying. How much effort my mother would have put? This is the first question. This is, I would say 1 in 100 might think. Second level, to think, why would? Second question, if she has put so much of effort, why did she have to put so much of effort for me? What I have done to her? If a child thinks about this second question, how many children think about this? 1 in 1,000. Vishal, how many times you have thought, your mother is making a special hot dosas for you? And your mother will be thinking, dosas doesn't come accidentally. You need to soak urad dal, rice, and grind it. My wife, Mama, I want to have dosas tomorrow. I'm really feeling like having dosa. Can you send the dosa batter? So to make the dosa batter, how much time and effort goes in there? You get what I mean? If a child starts thinking, why is that she is doing for me what I have done to her? This is much more subtler. You're getting what I mean? Now what is happening is, your interaction was with samosa, hot samosa, which was gross. Now you are thinking about much more subtler. You thought about the effort which your mother has put. Now you are thinking, why my mother would have put this effort for me? It is much more subtler because it comes to the your subtler, mother having attachment to you, which is much more, which is in the field of your mind, intelligence, ego, like, right? Because the mother mind is attracted to the son because of that bondage. Mother has cooked hot samosas for his child. Now, by thinking that, what has happened? Now, let us think about the child came straight away ate samosas. Mama, my friend is calling. Let me go and play with him. So, how was the relationship of the child with the mother? Yeah? It is very need basis. Yeah? How many of you understand this is on the need basis? This is on the need basis because Mama made a special samosas for him, hot samosas, and child came and ate and said, Mama, my friend is calling, I need to play cricket. Okay, Mama, please close the door. Just please. How much that samosa bridged the relationship? Vishak? How much that samosa? It is a superficial relationship because mother put all her energy thinking about her son that I need to cook samosa, but the child took it for granted and ate samosa, didn't recognize something which is happening background to that samosa, didn't recognize that. Child just left. This relationship is a very, very superficial relationship. Now, if a child thinks about all the subtler arrangement that goes in making a gross presentation of samosa in front of you. Samosa is a gross presentation. Background to the gross presentation is a subtler arrangement which the child is not at all aware of. He is ignorant. But seeing the samosa, if he recognizes those subtler, all the arrangement, and he is not blind to those subtler arrangement, but he awakens all the subtler arrangement that a mother has toiled when he was not there at home and made the samosas for the child, and he says, Mama, you have taken so much effort for me. Why you have to take so much effort and making this hot samosas for me? I'm really thankful, grateful for you, Mama. If he says that, now what is that relationship? It is superficial or intense? Intense relationship. You get what I mean? You are understanding what I mean? This one samosa cooking relationship, one was superficial, another was intense. Similarly, Yoma Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvamcha Vai Pashyati. Entire thing we are taking granted in this world, that everything. Oh, hey, kodappa, palak kodappa. How much is palak? 10 rupees 3. Okay, give me the palak. But how did you get the palak? Not for 10 rupees you got the palak. There is more arrangement that is happening to the palak. For palak to grow, there is so much arrangement in this world that has taken place which you are blind towards it. Your 10 rupees is not producing a palak. You get what I mean? There is a grand arrangement that has happened because of which you are getting palak, which you are ignorant. There is a subtler arrangement that has happened. But as soon as you get that, if you can think about Krishna and become thankful to Him, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra. This requires little bit of stretch, exercise. This is an exercise. If we can do the exercise in day-to-day our home activities, this will give us a training to see Krishna in the grand arrangement. That's why if someone is able to think about Krishna in the grand arrangement, automatically his senses becomes much more subtle to see every day-to-day activities at home, to recognize someone behind it. So this Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra, Sarvam Chamai Pashyati, this can be a philosophical knowledge. Okay, Rasoham Apsukonteya, I am the taste in water and the light in sun and moon. It is philosophical. But this is not philosophical. Philosophical, yes, it's the foundation, but it requires intense relationship. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra, to see Krishna, presence of Krishna in each and every arrangement in this world, it requires thinking. That thinking, when you see, just thinking about the samosas and making that, how did Mama do? What happened? You developed an intense relationship with your mother. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra. If you can see the presence of Krishna, by little bit exercising your intelligence and mind, how did I get this? Immediately, that ultimately helps you to reach to the ultimate creator Krishna. Now, what has happened? Our relationship has become intense. Now, one samosa, Mama can make you samosa, morning breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Creator makes 360-degree, 24 hours a day cooking for you. How many of you don't agree? Creator cooks 24 hours a day for you. Vishak, how Creator cooks 24 hours a day for you? He supplies air. He is cooking fresh air and giving the fresh air every second we breathe. He is cooking 24 hours a day. So just by thinking the samosa and thinking about how much effort she has put, he had developed intense relationship with his mother, thinking about Krishna. Right? When your thought process goes beyond just inhaling and exhaling, our thought process goes beyond thinking that how did I get the fresh air in the first, then we have our journey towards Krishna has started. That is an intense relationship. And never lost, now is He ever lost to me. So I would like to stop here by giving one minute this one. Once Prabhupada, when he was in US, he was, initial period Prabhupada, he was a 70-year-old man cooking for all these Westerners who used to come and hear his talks, and he used to do the kirtan as well, right? So all the Westerners, drunkards, used to come, because why they used to come? Prasad. Because Prabhupada, 70-year-old man, used to make roti, basmati rice, dal, sabji, and papad, and sweet. 70-year-old man. He will be cooking for around 60-70 Westerners who are completely drunk. And Prabhupada used to speak to them, and he used to do kirtan for half an hour and then serve them this entire arrangement of dinner for them. All of them used to take dinner and eat. Once they are eaten, they used to dance in RadhaKrishna mantra and then the kirtan, and then eat and then go. One day, accidentally, one devotee finished his eating late, and no one was there. Already everyone had done. He was alone, and Prabhupada was sitting chanting. And after eating, when he came to give put the plate, he saw all the utensils were completely dry. Nothing was there. Even Prabhupada had not taken. Everything was dry, finished, and all the utensils were there. And he started thinking, who's going to wash these utensils? How many of things? Normally. Right? This devotee started asking, Prabhupada, who is going to clean this utensil? Prabhupada smiled. I was praying one day, Krishna will send someone to ask me this question. When this thought process came to him, his relationship with Prabhupada, what happened? It's intense. Yeah? Similarly, we should never take anything as granted in this world. We should always see the background. So Krishna is teaching us how to see the background to each and everything which we normally take it as granted. That is why spirituality is a process of making us sensitive, able to see things which not seen. Yeah? This is all about spirituality. Spirituality makes us human. Why? Because we question. Yeah? So I would like to stop here. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.